The Season 1 patch notes for XDefiant are out a day ahead of the actual update dropping, so I'm going to be uploading this probably the day the update actually drops, unfortunately. Let's check out what they did. I heard that some things got nerfed, especially the spider bot. Let's take a look. All right, I'm excited for this one. So the Y1S1.0 patch notes 5-minute read July 1st. So the first category we've got is gameplay. They changed the expiration timing of activated boosters so their lifespan counts only during match time. So when you're only playing the game is when the XP boosters will actually count. Perfect. More games need to do that. Having XP burn when you're not playing the game just makes it feel like you literally have to play that game for like an hour. If you have only like hour double XP tokens, you have to basically be playing nonstop, otherwise you waste a token. It counting only when you're playing is nice. They've lowered the XP threshold for each battle pass tier to give the battle pass progression a little bit more pep, which is nice. Even though I did finish the entire preseason battle pass, it definitely took a little bit longer than I thought it would. And even then we still had like 20 plus days left. So I mean, I think that this battle pass may be bigger. I'm not quoting that off of anything that I'm aware of, but I'm just hopefully assuming that it'll be a bit longer than the preseason one, thus justifying this change, because if you burn through it really quickly, then it's probably going to feel like you have nothing else to really grind for. They tuned the match XP bonus rewards. MVP and victory went from 2,000 to 1,000 XP. Draw went from 1,000 to 500. Completion doubled from 2,000 to 4,000 to encourage player stick-to-itiveness. That's really a word. So they nerfed match bonus XP rewards. Okay, so if you get MVP and victory, okay, so this is an XP decrease completing and winning games. Well, winning games anyway, but the completion is double from 2 to 4,000. Answered a community ask to add a headshot icon to the kill feed because it feels good to rub it in. That is 100% something I want, especially as a guy who likes to play with sniper rifles. Having the feed show that those were headshots will be really, really nice. It'll also potentially help detect anybody that may or may not be cheating in the future, because if you see somebody just getting non-stop headshots in the kill feed, that's a little sus. So that's a really good change that we needed for sure. Okay, so that's it for the gameplay section. On to the factions. They've added the GSK faction and their no-nonsense announcer HQ. If you watched the Season 1 reveal trailer, you'll have already seen that this is going to be a faction being added. These elite Team Rainbow operators from Germany's Border Protection Command specialize in crowd control and securing territory. They can deploy electrified barbed wire for initial denial is initial for area denial, counter incoming enemy devices with their active defense systems, otherwise known as trophy systems, and dazzle multiple foes with flash charges mounted on their G52 Tactical Shield Ultra. Call them Commando because it's fun and also accurate. I love the way they do these notes. There's so much character and color behind them. So we've got the brand new faction, the GSK, and again, their brand new announcer. We've got barbed wire that's also electrified. We've got trophy systems, and then we've got a shield with literal flashbangs attached to it. That's going to probably piss somebody off, but what can you do? They increased the cooldown of Echelon's intel suit from 30 to 40 seconds. Echelon's intel suit was very overtuned in my opinion. You literally almost could have infinite information non-stop, especially if you're on a team running multiples of them. Like, if you're still going to be on a team with multiples of them, it won't really probably feel any different, but it's kind of good just to nudge it down a tiny bit. Next, they've tuned the cooldown of Phantom's mag barrier from 30 to 40 seconds. Mag hit points were also reduced from 500 to 400. So that's the shield that you throw down. So the amount of damage it can take has been reduced, and it's got a longer cooldown. So I guess they're trying to stop some of the ability spam, which is a good idea in my opinion, kind of focus up more on the gunplay aspect, because some abilities are just outright obnoxious. Constantly having shields thrown in your face when you're in a gunfight, those blocking you from killing the person you're shooting, the intel suits just spamming over and over throughout a game. I like this. The Phantom's Aegis now takes damage from EMP grenades. Lob 6 to put it out of commission, so that is the big shield, the bubble shield. That now takes damage from EMPs. I always thought it did take damage, so I was just throwing useless EMPs at the bubble shields the entire time. I didn't know that, but that's really cool to know. The DedSec hijack cooldown decreased from 28 seconds, plus the remaining duration of the hack skill, to 20 seconds. Okay. Plus the remaining duration of the hack skill. For example, let's say a mag barrier has 7 seconds left and gets hacked. The cooldown becomes 20 seconds plus 7. Failed hijack cooldown, meanwhile, decreases from 8 to 5 seconds. Okay, so if you fail a hijack, it's now only going to take 5 seconds to recharge. And if you do hack something, the cooldown gets extended for whatever you've hacked on top of the existing time it had left. So that makes sense. DeadSec's Spider Bot's cooldown has been increased from 25 to 40 seconds. I love that change. That thing is obnoxious. Before you tell me, there are so many counters for it. I'm aware. You can EMP it. You can shoot it. If you look at the ground and crouch, you could have somebody else shoot it off of you. I get it. The problem with this Spider Bot is that it's inconsistent. Either when you use it, it doesn't go for people or it goes off in a random direction, or when people use it against you, it won't actually hook onto your face, so you can't shoot it off. Sometimes it'll just literally be at your ankle and you can't move it, you can't shoot it. You literally can't do anything about it. Being mid gunfight and it just comes up behind you and hooks onto your face and making you lose that gunfight is the worst feeling in this entire game, and I will stand on that idea. It's just not a good system, so kind of nerfing it is a good thing, man. It's just way too obnoxious to fight against. Now, it's one thing if you see it coming, yeah, you can shoot it, you can EMP it, whatever. But if you're in the middle of a gunfight, you're not going to have the time to 180 flick on a spider bot that's coming up on you that you may or may not hear because the audio has been extremely inconsistent for it, at least for me anyway. I'm glad they're nerfing it. It's not a great piece of equipment. I personally just wish it didn't exist at all. I think anything that stops a player from straight up moving mid gunfight is just not a good designed piece of equipment. I know there are counters, but I just don't like this thing. They've adjusted the spider bot behavior, so multiple spider bots won't attempt to hug the same face. That's cool. I've had multiple spider bots hug me back to back. Oh, and I didn't even mention, this thing can kill you. It does literally, I think, 40 to 50 damage, which is almost half of your health. That's insane. It freezes you. You can't hear it sometimes when it's approaching you, and it can potentially kill you. It gets you killed in gunfights significantly more often than it probably should. I don't like this thing, man. Normal spider bots continue to ignore faces they've hugged multiple recent times. So give and take from the spider bot kingdom. So I mean, they won't ignore people too much, but they also won't try to hug the same face back to back to back, which is cool. They decreased the cooldown of Libertad's Biovita boost from 25 to 20 seconds. Isn't that the stim thing? Okay, they buffed that a little bit. It definitely did take a while for it to recharge and is nowhere near as broken as it used to be in the previous testing sessions. So I think that's okay. They fixed Libertad's Medico Supremo, so it will no longer disappear after deploying. The player respawns as a different faction. Oh, okay. Okay, so it won't disappear. It used to disappear after you switch factions after dropping it. I didn't know that was a thing. Usually when I stick to a character or when I pick a character at the beginning of a game, I kind of just stick with it. So I didn't know that was a thing. And that's it for all the faction adjustments. Let me know what you think about these down below. I'm very happy about the spider changes. I think the Aegis shield changes and the mag barrier changes are also really nice. The intel suit change is good. I think one other way to really balance this would to maybe give it one less ping, but I don't know. It's really not as problematic as I would say the other ones are. I think this is an okay change. Now we've gone on to maps. They added the new Clubhouse map, a 2-story hangout popular with international operators, ideal for firefights in the short to mid range, home to game modes Domination, Occupy, Hotshot, and the new CTF. So they said they're only going to be adding one map every month. I was honestly hoping we would drop with 3 brand new maps and then they would add a new map every month. I kind of get it. I think I'm just a little burnt out on the same maps that I've basically been playing, so I hope that one map a month is enough to kind of keep people invested. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, flinch has been changed again. This could be really good or really bad for some people, depending on who you are as a person. Improve the hit flinch penalty incurred when being shot with a sniper rifle equipped. Okay, these changes are intended to refine the behavior of hit flinch, prevent instances where the camera would move off the target with the first hit and back onto the target with the second, and improve the experience for players sensitive to wild camera movements. Here's the nitty gritty. The speed of the hit flinch camera transition has been increased by 25%. The camera will now always kick upward rather than up or down at random times. That's a really great change because it's so hard to tell. It's just a little inconsistent. Like if you get shot in the body, at least this is how it used to be. You get shot in the body, I think it kicked down. In the head, it kicked up or something like that. The amount the camera will kick left or right has been increased by 3 times. Wow, okay, so they nerfed the shit out of this actually. They nerf snipers with this one, I think. Some of these changes I'm gonna have to kind of test around actually in the game. We've got the L115 sniper rifle, which is quite not as heavy as the TAC-50 and has faster handling, although it deals slightly less damage and is not effective at penetrating cover, which is fine. I didn't know you really can't penetrate cover in this game. The definition of penetrating cover in this game is just hit detection. I've shot people around corners. I don't think that really counts as penetrating through cover, but it's good to know that that's actually considered a like viable thing. I've shot people through walls, don't get me wrong, but I shoot people more around corners than I do through walls. So they added the LVO AC, a snazzy customized rifle similar to the M4. It has a much faster rate of fire than the M4, but with that comes more recoil and less range. It also has slightly longer reload and equip times. Why is that? That's interesting. Okay, I mean, it sounds kind of like a carbine, like a mid to short range assault rifle, basically. That's kind of what it sounds like. Sort of like a honey badger-esque kind of gun, not meant for really long distance gunfights, but that short to mid range. Next, we've got the sawed-off shotgun secondary weapon. Ooh, this is a secondary. What? This close-range version of the double-barrel shotgun packs a big boom for its size. Imagine carrying a primary weapon in your secondary slot, and that's this. I don't know, man. That's definitely risky. That is risky. I don't think shotguns are really good to have in like ranked play or something. So imagine you're like losing a gunfight and a guy just whips a shotgun out as a secondary and just pops you. Oh man, I mean, not losing, but imagine you're in a gunfight and that happens. But that's interesting. They've added 3 new mastery skins, which you can actually see, and I'll post them right here. Titanium Violet, which is unlocked at level 11 300. Titanium Azure, which is unlocked at 350, and Titanium Prisma unlocked at 400. They've also fixed weapons and optics shake in first-person view while using ADS. So hopefully there's a little less screen shake, which is really, really good. Just fake recoil and fake screen shake is just unenjoyable. For the devices, they've added a new and improved visual effect for the flashbang grenade, replacing the previous effect, which was intense. The new effect is less retina searing, but still appropriately disorienting. I can't wait to see that. They removed an exploit where players could respawn with multiple devices after fiddling with the copy loadout option in the lobby. So nice try. I didn't know this was a thing. Somebody posted this in my Discord earlier. I had no clue this was actually something you could do. Added the creator code program, which allows players to choose a creator to receive commissions from their Xcoin purchases at no additional cost. Choose support a creator from the store to see a list of eligible creators. I'm trying to get into this creator program, so keep on the lookout for this, hopefully. Players are able to create a party with enemy players and voice chat during matches despite being on opposing teams, which seemed shady, so that's fixed. Maybe that was their way of saying like people were just, what was it called, boosting? Disable whispers in chat. Why? Why did they disable whispers? Audio, they've tweaked the mix of in-game voices and sound effects for volume and clarity. Audio cleanup. Miscellaneous. Players who participated in the closed beta were supposed to keep Kersey's Dungari skin. They didn't, but now they do. Fix challenge tracking issues with the Ubisoft Connect, graphical and audio fixes, various and additional crash fixes. Overall, a good set of notes, I'd say. Like, this is a pretty nice list, not too much to like confuse people with. The sawed-off shotgun secondaries are interesting. All the nerfs I think are necessary. The sniper rifle changes gonna be weird. Wait, did I skip this? I totally skipped this. New game modes, they added capture the flag, referred to as CTF. For the uninitiated, you take the enemy's flag from their base and bring it back to your own, or protect your team's flag. It's really easy. It's available on a variety of maps, so probably most of them except the small maps, I would assume. But that's pretty much it. I also did see that they are bringing Search and Destroy to Season 1 at some point. I don't know if it's going to be on launch. Here's more information on the Battle Pass, 90 tiers, free premium versions, 3 free weapon unlocks, character and weapon cosmetics, emoji packs and player cards, MVP player animations, X coins, boosters, and more. So there's that. Here's an actual look at the brand new mastery camo. So we've got the Titanium Violet, we've got the Titanium Azure, I don't know why I said it like that, and the Titanium Prisma, which kind of reminds me of like a pearlescent type of mastery camo. It seems to either be consistently changing or it changes depending on how the light hits it. At least that's what I think anyway. Violet is literally just violet pinkish, sort of, kind of, with a little bit of shine. It's like a purple pink. And then the Azure is like a pearlescent kind of like blue. So it looks like depending on how the light hits these, that basically determines the color. And then as one last thing, Season 1 ranked play will actually be dropping on July 3rd. Ignore this. This is a typo, not June 3rd. July 3rd. Future seasons will still have a 1-week warm-up period, but let's jump right into Season 1. Okay, apparently the GSK faction also won't be one shot to the head either, which will be interesting.
Require 2 shots to the head against a GSK player rather than a 1 shot. GSK
interesting.
basically nullifies the extra modifier that headshots do. So it would be the equivalent of getting shot in the body. We looked at the different characters, they all have helmets on, it just kind of made sense. It also ties in with being defensive specialists. They're staying behind, protecting an area, and it kind of lessens the impact that certain weapons can have against them.
I get the idea. I don't think that's a terrible idea. I mean, it'll add a little bit more tacticalness kind of to them. Unlike in certain other games where they just remove the ability for sniper rifles to one-shot headshot, I think having it on a very specific character is kind of nice. I think that's okay. Apparently they announced an entirely new thing, but there is going to be search and destroy in this game.
Bomb. This mode will be coming.
It's just going to be called Bomb. Okay.
Season 1. Here's a sneak peek.
Okay. Oh, those are literally the bombs from R6. That's kind of funny, actually. That's literally one-to-one the bomb from R6. Not a bad idea.
We know that all.
Okay, so yeah, Search and Destroy is coming to XDefiant. Pretty straightforward. The first look at the first look at the reward you get for getting top 500.
Our paintball line, and the beauty is as soon as you get that. So first off, the rewards are completely exclusive to rank play. As soon as you hit that first rank, you'll instantly unlock that reward. In Season 1, this is from our paintball line. And the beauty is as soon as you get that reward, you have it forever. So even if you go back down in ranks or you lose that progression, that reward is yours. However, we do have one reward that will only unlock for the top 500 players at the end of the season. So we'll have that leaderboard, and if you can finish in that top 500, you know it's yours.
Okay.
So first off, the reward.
I'm here for top 500 is insane. That's going to take so much effort. Wowzers. There's so much information that got dropped today. Holy moly. Wow. Okay. We got actual visuals on everything. All the ranks are right here. Legends plus Legends top 500. We've got all of our game modes for ranked, escort, occupy, domination, and zone control. I think multiples of these should be probably replaced with CTF and Search and Destroy. We're going to test those out and see how they play first and foremost before we actually do anything like that, I assume. Here's gameplay of the actual flash shield.
Providing defense.
Okay. So this is the GSK faction.
This is GSK, an elite strike force from GSG9, members of Rainbow Six.
Okay.
These counterterrorism specialists are your go-to operators when your back is against the wall.
Okay.
Drop their shockwire to build a high-voltage perimeter around objectives.
Shockwire is hindering hostile.
Okay.
Or deploy the active defense system to swat down incoming enemy explosives.
Whoa, you can stick the trophy systems to walls? That's insane. Okay.
GSK operators are tough, able to shrug off most headshots thanks to their ballistic helmets.
Damn.
But you can also take their fight to the enemy with the G52 tactical shield, equipped with a powerful frontal flash.
That is gonna be absurd. What?
GSK operators stand at the core of any defensive game plan, even if they have to push back enemies to get the job done.
That was a sawed-off secondary. That's insane. Okay. You could be mid-gunfight. Well, I guess you could be mid-gunfight and get flashbanged by a shield. Okay, but that was pretty much all the extra stuff that I wanted to take a look at. I knew there were some things that I missed on social media, so as soon as I got done recording that video, I realized I'm gonna have to hop back in and look over some stuff. That's all the extra stuff that's coming with XDefiant Season 1. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy Tuesday.